Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. We're going to do a quick review here. Probably a review that's been done quite a few times, and that's okay. I'm just gonna do a review, but also kind of compare the two blade shapes just a little bit, and they're slightly different models. But this is gonna be the Inkosi, the Chris Reeve Inkosi, with the Tanto blade and the Cinco blade style. This one I got at Blade Show. This one I got probably about a month or so afterwards. Maybe it was 2 months. It's hard to remember exactly when each were got. And out of all the Chris Reeve models, every single folder, specifically, not the fixed blades, but folders, this might be my favorite design overall for various reasons, and we can kind of get into that. But before we do, please like the video, subscribe, follow the Facebook page, and subscribe, or like the Facebook page, follow the Instagram. Let's go ahead and get into it. First of all, let's just these two compare side by side. This is a Blade Show model. The simple thing is this has a Blade Show 2023 bead on it. Super simple, nothing super out of the ordinary. It does, I don't know if you can see it, have a slight snail trail right there. That's about it. There's other little tiny things just from being pocketed. Nothing major. Now, some people don't necessarily like the overall aesthetics or design. I, in fact, like the design of this particular one right here. Probably my favorite overall design that Chris Reeve has, look wise and ergonomic wise. It's just so practical, feels so good in the hand. It's a workhorse, flat out. I mean, obviously, the Inkosi name kind of is perfect for this one. It's thicker than your normal Sebenza blade. It's the same thickness as your umnumzaan, with a more similar overall style to a Sebenza, which, let me grab that real quick, just for size comparison. So, here you go. There's your Sebenza 31 specifically. So, if we're lining up properly, this has a little tiny speck from something I opened recently. So as you can tell, the Inkosi is, and I mean barely larger, just barely. But now you can kind of see the differences here, and the overall shape. This has more of a ridge to prop your thumb on than the Sebenza does. Don't get me wrong, this is still very good. Again, thicker, just ever so slightly. Not by much, but it is. This has much larger washers than your Sebenza. Your Sebenza has large washers, don't get me wrong, but the Inkosi, you can just see those guys. They're just much larger for much smoother deployment than your Sebenza. Your Sebenza's good, don't get me wrong, but so there's your quick little comparison of those two. Let's go ahead and get into the Trinity comparison here. There's your XM18 3.5 inch, pretty much exactly the same size overall. Here's your Strider SNG. Again, the exact same size. If I line it up properly, there you go. And then some more on the medium range price wise. There you go. There's your Shaman, your Spartaco Shaman. Oh, you can get a good size comparison there. Here's this guy. There you go. Alright, the 940 classic. Everybody knows it, or knows of it to some degree. Either way. So, which one do I like better? There is something super simple, plain, and nice about just a plain Jane Chris Reeve titanium. Something just so nice about it. But I do really like this one with the micarta, black micarta. As you can tell, since I've gotten both of these, this has gotten more use. It's been in the pocket more than this guy. Just flat out. This has been on more job sites. This has been on just in general. It's been in my pocket, in use, way more. I like the blade style more. It just works so nicely for what I do. It's kind of like this right here and just cut down. So nice. Go through cardboard, super nice. Go through whatever I need it to go through with a very very fine tip. So it slices very well, which is actually almost the complete opposite of the Tanto. So the Tanto has a more robust tip. This is much better at slicing overall than the Tanto. It just is the way it is. But ergos are the same. Handle shape is the same. Everything is the same. I think the only thing I will ever probably knock Chris Reeve ever for is their pocket clip. You can get other pocket clips, that's fine. But like their stock pocket clip, I like how it goes in and out of the pocket. I like the retention. I like all of that. I like it in use, in practice, and how it feels. The problem is this guy right here. It catches on anything and everything it possibly can. If there's a chance it can catch on something, it will. And you will bend your pocket clip. It's just happens so easily, so constantly. It's just insane. I just wish it wasn't like that. But it is what it is at this point. I mean, obviously. And obviously the nice thing about Chris Reeves is you can take them apart. You can deal with them. Even after all the use this guy has been through, if it will focus. It's still centered. Still centered. No issues at all on either one of them. But this guy gets way more use. I just like the look of it better, flat out. I like the usefulness of the blade for day-to-day use. Now obviously tan toes, you have that blade so you can scrape. You have a good flat for just cutting through cardboard. It's overall great. But I also like the this blade style for sharpening. It's a whole lot easier to sharpen this than this. So if you're using one of the two more often, this is easier to sharpen. It just flat out is. So if you're using it constantly, this one is easier to get back to the edge that it had at the beginning. So that's why I'm always hesitant with, not that I can't sharpen, but it just takes more time, if that makes sense. It's more about, oh, this one's easier, it's quicker to sharpen, it's more efficient. So that kind of is one of the reasons why it gets more pock time, more cutting, is just the fact that it is quicker, easier to sharpen. So a little bit of usage, a little bit of time saving there aspect of it. And like, let's be real, like I have some knives that I have sharpened that their blades are extremely hard to deal with. So it just kind of depends. But if I have a choice between these two and which one I want to use constantly and to resharpen, this is the one I gravitate towards. Just being honest with you guys. But I know there's a lot of love, and this may be a controversial statement. I know that there's a lot of love for the Sebenza. I know there's a lot of love. People love the Sebenza. Love it. People love the umnumzaan. But I think the Inkosi is, as a EDC, as an everyday carry, as an actual user, it's better. All around. It's not as tough as the umnumzaan, but it's tougher than the Sebenza. It doesn't cut as good as the Sebenza, it's close. But it also cuts better than the umnumzaan. It's a perfect middle ground. Just flat out, just to be honest with you. It slices great, but is very durable. So it toes that line perfectly for an actual good EDC blade. It can slice well, but it can take a beating. That's why I prefer it over the umnumzaan, and I prefer it over the Sebenza. And I'm sorry, but that's just the reality of it. And there are people that disagree with me, and that's okay. I get that. I love the umnumzaan. I carry it all the time. But as an EDC knife, I like the Inkosi better. Just flat out. If I had to choose between those three, I would pick this every day over either one. And I actually do consistently. I carry the Sebenza here and there. I carry the umnumzaan more than the Sebenza, but less than this. So that's just the reality of it. Is it for everybody? No. Just like how a Hinder isn't for everybody or a Strider isn't for everybody. That's okay. A lot of people love their Holt-like action. They love that flipping. They love the drop shot. They love this. Those are great. Those are great. In fact, for another little guy that I got recently, they love the fidget factor. They love it. Everybody loves the fidget factor. Like, that's just how that goes. But when you're in a situation where you need a knife to open and just cut, and cut well and be durable on a job site or whatever you're doing, it's hard to go wrong with this. It's reliable and it just works. It's smooth. Yes, it's not drop shot, but it's smooth. It's hydraulic action. It's smooth. No friction. It's great. It is great. It's dialed in. And I think I've talked about the ceramic ball bearing system before. I won't go into that here. I think I talked about it maybe on the unboxing of this guy. I can't entirely remember. But a lot of people dislike the ball bearing for a few reasons, yet their reasons are silly. Just, if you know how the ball bearing system works, it's great. It really is. And I don't actually know why more people are not implementing it. Just simple. It is like a titanium on steel locking face, but none of the cons. Because thing about steel, the titanium to steel, is that it will wear quicker, right? But then be a stronger lock. The hardness between a ceramic ball bearing and the steel is smaller than the difference between the hardness of titanium and steel. So it's going to wear slower than that lock face, but also give you the same effect. It's going to be a better overall lock than a steel on steel. It's going to be a more solid connection. But it's also not going to have the lock stick that a titanium and steel locking face would. So that's kind of the differences. It is a better locking face than steel on steel, just because it's going to end up having better overall, stronger lock, better connection, but it's not going to have the lock stick that the titanium to steel does. So if that makes sense. I feel like a lot of people don't. Well, some people don't understand that, and that's okay. They don't have to. There's lovers and haters of every brand, and that's just how it goes. But that's gonna be it for this episode, yes, or this video. And yeah, I honestly would recommend this over the umnumzaan or the Sebenza out of Chris Reeves folders. Yes, 100%. But that is going to be it for this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Please like the video, subscribe, like the Facebook page, and follow the Instagram, and I'll see you guys in the next one.